obstructing the Spaniard and allowing the Aussie to glide past both Alpines. Team principal of Alpine, Otmar Safnauer, outlined his wish to finish on the podium at this race, from the strong third-row lockout. But, as was clear from the lack of teamwork early on in the race, a top 3 finish was never on the cards. From there, the best of the rest battle settled down, as Lando cruised home to his 4th top 7 finish in a row, but only his 2nd points finish in Hungary. Esteban Ocon's 9th means that he is 2 points further adrift in the Drivers' Championship. 2 points further adrift from Drivers' Championship rival Valtteri Bottas, the Finn 8th in the standings, but last in the Grand Prix, as he retired with a mechanical issue 2 laps before the checkered flag. After this came the 2 Aston Martins. Sebastian Vettel, the only driver not in the top 10 in the points standings to secure points at this Grand Prix, with a 10th place finish on the week in which he announced his retirement. The German driver had a good start to the Grand Prix, overtaking Tsunoda at lights out, with Stroll and Vettel pitting on lap 15, and for a second time on lap 48. But on lap 50, Stroll was spun out by Daniel Ricciardo at turn 4, the Aussie being given a 5-second time penalty and ending up in 15th, with Lance managing to continue and re-overtaking Ricciardo as his teammate Sebastian Vettel made a move on Zhou Guanyu. By lap 66, Seb had passed both Ricciardo and teammate Lance Stroll in a seemingly team-orchestrated switch of positions. This P10 finish means that Vettel is now tied on points with Pierre Gasly, who finished 12th, at 13th in the Drivers' Championship, which shows the extent to which Pierre has disappointed so far this season. But for Aston Martin, this is a 6th point finish in 7 races, a monumental improvement from the start of the season. Hopefully, they will be able to get into the battle for 7th come the end of the season. Zhou Guanyu finished a decent 13th, considering the fact that his teammate Bottas was the only driver to retire, and the 2 Haas drivers followed, split by Daniel Ricciardo. Since Austria, things have been on a downhill trajectory for Haas, so they really need to regain their momentum if they want 7th in the Constructors. Kevin Magnussen struggled especially today as he made contact early on, and he was given the black and orange flag and forced to pit, all but ruining his day. The 2 Williams drivers were at the rear of the field, apart from Yuki Tsunoda, with Alex Albon having been especially poor in this race, as he too tangled with Lance Stroll on lap 2, bringing out the VSC to collect debris and forcing the Thai driver to pit. Finally, I just wanted to touch on Daniel Ricciardo's race. He also had a pretty poor one, as he spun out Lance Stroll whilst he was battling for the points. Lance Stroll was able to continue re-overtaking Daniel Ricciardo, but Daniel was given a 5-second time penalty for this infringement and served it at the end of the race. So he finished 12th on the road, but ended up in P15 thanks to that time penalty. Now for my driver of the day, and it has to be Lewis Hamilton. The Brit jumped the Alpines at the start of the race, pitting perfectly initially, and then perfectly extending his second stint on the mediums, so that he could pit for softs near the end, and slice his way back through the top 5 for 2nd place. It could even have been a victory as well, had the race been slightly longer, as Max Verstappen was slowing significantly in the final lap. All in all, this was a great result for Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, as Lewis too is now only 10 points behind Carlos Sainz in the Drivers' Championship. Now onto my team of the race, and it's Red Bull. Coming back from a 10-11 grid position is an exceedingly difficult task to surmount. But Red Bull did so in style, with good overtaking on the Alpines, Lewis and Lando, combined with some very positive strategy calls, which left Max Verstappen in clear air come the end of the race. Despite Max spinning, he had the composure to continue and take yet another victory. And finally, for my struggle of the race, and yeah, no, it's not a driver, but it's the Ferrari strategy team. And it's been an absolute mare for them today from start to finish. And I really hope that the summer break can result in a reset for the team. Ferrari have literally been so bad in the past few weeks that they forced me to bend my rules in terms of who I can put as struggle of the race. The strategy team, without a doubt. They just fail to deliver every single time. Please, Ferrari, make a change during the summer break. Thank you for listening to F1 Every Week. Feel free to tune in next week for some more F1 news, and I'll see you in a few weeks for a review of the Belgian Grand Prix.